Hey guys, today we're taking a look at my Casio G-Shock. This is model number GW5600J-1. It's an atomic solar G-Shock. This is one of Casio's more classic versions of the G-Shock. It's the 5600 series. This one has been upgraded, as I mentioned. It's both solar and atomic, so let's take a look at some of the features here. It has an 8-month reserve on one charge with the battery. From what I understand, it takes 4 to 5 hours of sunlight to fully charge it. It's 2-band atomic, dual band. There is a more expensive version of this, which is 5-band, but I couldn't really justify the cost. This will sync in the US from the atomic clock at Fort Collins. It'll also sync from the atomic clock in Japan. Given where you live in the world, this might be an important choice you have to make, but for me this obviously works. It has a power saving mode where if you leave it sitting for long enough or it doesn't have any contact with light, it'll blank the screen out and you'll just have a little flashing indicator at the top there. Usually when I wake up in the morning, it's in power saving mode, and by the time you put it on, it's already came back to life. Has a backlight. Let me turn off my main lighting here, and we'll see if we can't get this to go. There we go. The backlight is a bit short. I wish it would stay on a little bit longer. It also has a auto illumination tilt feature. Let me enable it. If you hear that toggle, when you tilt your wrist up to look at the watch, it'll automatically illuminate. Let me turn my main lighting back on here. I don't tend to use that feature. I keep it toggled off. I just think it wastes the battery. Normally, if you're going to be using your backlight, it's a purposeful action. I really don't need it to be that readily available. I can always just press the button if I need light that badly. Okay, where are we at? It's a world time model. It's pre-programmed for the time in 29 different cities. It also has dual time zone, so you can set up 2 time zones and then switch back and forth between them. It has a stopwatch, and it also has a countdown timer. It's waterproof to 200 meters. I believe that's 660 feet or 20 bars. I've gotten it down to 20 feet. It's a tough watch. I've had it covered in mud. Like I said, I went swimming and bottomed it out at the bottom of the pool, which is roughly 20 feet, and it was fine. I've been wearing it every day for I think 2 months now. I've showered in it, and did everything in it. It's held up very well. It has a replaceable band, which is something I want to talk about here. It's the standard resin or rubber band, and I wish that Casio would make a G-Shock that accepted regular watch bands. Now, there's a mod for these, which is known as the Milshock mod, and what happens is the lugs here where the band connects are 16 millimeters. So if you're to Dremel this out to 20 millimeters, you could take a Zulu watch strap or any other 20 millimeter watch strap, and it'll feed right through. You also have to install a longer spring bar or a solid dowel even. So, but they also make adapters for these, which will accept a watch band through it, but I think it makes it look bulky, and I really don't like the appearance. If I do decide to mod this, I would probably go directly for the Milshock mod. You can manually set the time and calendar, but it does have a pre-programmed calendar up to 2099. So I highly doubt I'll see that year, so I can't foresee that being a problem. It automatically syncs to the atomic clock that you're closest to. but you can manually initiate it if you need to. What else is there? It has multiple alarms. It has 4 alarms, one being available for snooze. That's plenty of alarms for me and my uses. Yeah, overall, I really like this watch. I think for around $60, it's a good value. Unlike a lot of G-Shocks, this is something I wanted to talk about. You can see the profile on the side there. It's not bulky. You know, a lot of G-Shocks are really bulky and more than I would want to wear on my wrist. I think this has a good balance between still being tough but having a thinner profile. It's comfortable to wear and it's unobtrusive. It doesn't get in the way. One thing I didn't want to mention, I'm sure somebody will ask because it always happens. The text on the front, the G-Shock and the protection text at the top. When you get this watch, if you do order this model, that text comes white, and I blacked it out. I have a tendency to black out things like that. I just grabbed a Sharpie and did it. I usually black out the buttons too, but I'll need to use something with a harder wearing finish on it because I blacked these out when I got it, and they wear off. You know, even if I rarely ever use the buttons. I usually just use the standard mode. At the most, I'll change the date to the day option, which is something I should also mention. The upgraded version of this, the more expensive model, it shows both the day and the date at the same time, and in this model you have to toggle it. It's not a big deal. I would like it to show both. But, you know, come on, if you don't know what the day of the week is, you have bigger problems than hitting a button on your watch there. But yeah, overall I'm very happy with it. I've been wearing it every single day. It's very comfortable to wear. I would prefer, you know, a Zulu strap on it, and I might do the mod. But in its stock form, it is very comfortable. I don't have much else to say for it. If you can find it for around the $60 price mark, I think the $64 they're asking with shipping included on Amazon is pretty fair. No, I'd have to give it a thumbs up for sure. I really like the watch, and you could do a lot worse. So that's about it, guys. Later.